In the vibrant city of Lagos, Nigeria, there lived a billionaire named Taiwo. He was a self-made man who had built his fortune from scratch through hard work and determination. Despite his wealth, Taiwo felt empty and unfulfilled. He had been in numerous relationships, but none of them seemed genuine. Every woman he dated appeared to be more interested in his bank account than in him as a person. Taiwo's friends and family would often tell him that he was too picky, that he should settle for someone who loved him for his wealth. But Taiwo knew that he wanted someone who loved him for who he truly was, not just his fortune. He yearned for a deep, meaningful connection with someone who would accept him without the facade of wealth. One day, Taiwo hatched a plan. He would pretend to be poor, to see if he could find someone who would love him without knowing about his wealth. He sold his luxurious mansion and moved into a modest apartment. He traded in his designer clothes for simple, second-hand attire. He even changed his appearance, ditching his fancy cars and jewelry. As a poor man, Taiwo faced numerous challenges. People would often look down on him, and some would even mock him. But he persevered, determined to find true love. He took on odd jobs to make ends meet, working as a street vendor, a cleaner, and even a cook. Months went by, and Taiwo met many women who seemed interested in him. However, he soon realized that some of them were just pretending to like him, just to play with his mind. Taiwo was heartbroken but not deterred. Then, one day, he met Neoma, a beautiful and kind-hearted young woman. She was a librarian, with a passion for books and learning. Neoma was different from the other women Taiwo had met. She didn't seem to care about his financial status. Instead, she was drawn to his kind heart and sense of humor. As Taiwo and Neoma spent more time together, Taiwo found himself falling deeply in love with her. He was amazed by her intelligence, her compassion, and her beauty. Neoma, too, had fallen for Taiwo, but she had no idea about his true identity. Taiwo knew that he had to reveal his true identity to her. He was nervous about how she would react, but he couldn't keep the secret hidden forever. One sunny afternoon, Taiwo took Neoma to a quiet park overlooking the Lagos Lagoon. He held her hand, took a deep breath, and began to tell her his story. "Neoma, from the moment I met you, I knew that you were different," Taiwo said, his voice trembling with emotion. "I've been pretending to be someone I'm not, someone poor and ordinary. But the truth is, I'm a billionaire." Neoma's eyes widened in shock, and she pulled her hand away from Taiwo's. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Taiwo explained everything: his wealth, his decision to pretend to be poor, and his desire to find someone who loved him for who he truly was. Neoma listened intently, her expression unreadable. When Taiwo finished speaking, Neoma looked at him with tears in her eyes. "Taiwo, I don't care about your wealth," she said, her voice filled with conviction. "I care about the man you are, the kindness you show, and the love you give. I love you, not your money." Taiwo's heart swelled with joy. He had been afraid that Neoma would leave him once she knew the truth, but instead, she was more in love with him than ever. Overjoyed, Taiwo got down on one knee and proposed to Neoma. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his voice trembling with emotion. Neoma nodded, tears of joy streaming down her face. "Yes, yes, 1,000,000 times yes," she exclaimed. Their engagement was a whirlwind of excitement and planning. Taiwo took Neoma to meet his family, and they were overjoyed to meet the woman who had captured their son's heart. The wedding was a grand affair, with friends and family from all over Nigeria in attendance. Neoma looked stunning in her white wedding gown, and Taiwo beamed with pride as he exchanged vows with her. As they danced their first dance as husband and wife, Taiwo whispered in Neoma's ear, "I'm so glad I pretended to be poor. If I hadn't, I might have never found you." Neoma smiled and leaned into him. "I'm glad too," she said. "I love you, Taiwo, for who you are, rich or poor." Taiwo smiled, feeling grateful for the journey that had brought them together. "I love you too, Neoma," he said. "Forever and always." Their marriage was a beautiful blend of love, laughter, and adventure. Taiwo and Neoma used his wealth to make a positive impact on their community, building schools, hospitals, and orphanages. Years later, when people asked Taiwo about his decision to pretend to be poor, he would smile and say, "It was the best decision I ever made. It led me to the love of my life, and I'm forever grateful."